Hi, this is your coach and therapist, Ruth WAITHIRA of the Soul Clinic. And the Soul Clinic is where we fix your pain, we help you feel good and live a whole life. And I'm sure you've seen us severally now. We've been doing a series on trauma. This should be episode 5. And if you haven't watched the other episodes, the links to those episodes is in the comment section. So please make sure that you watch those episodes so that you're able to follow through what we've been talking about. We've talked about what trauma is and what trauma is not, how trauma affects how you view yourself, how it affects your identity, how it affects your self-worth. We've talked about adverse childhood experiences and how the surrounding and the environment in which you are raised and you are born and raised affects how you view yourself and show up in the world. We've also talked about how your self-view and perception of self can stand in the way of you living an authentic life. Why I talk about these things is because my deepest desire is to see people living their best lives. My deepest desire is to see people triumph, rise over situations that they never thought they could rise above, process traumas that have always stood in the way for them, and go ahead and start living their best lives. Authenticity is something nowadays. We are all wanting to live an authentic life. We want to live in purpose. We don't want to just pass by through life. We want to make a difference while we are here. So it's my mission, and my greatest vision is to see you make an impact, to influence lives and to transform lives. But the first life that you may need to transform is yours. The first, most important relationship in life is the relationship with you. And I always try within my powers to ensure that the relationship you're having with self is healthy, it is functional, it is not warped. Because it is from that healthy, functional relationship with self then that you are able to have a relationship with others. And these others may be your husband, your wife, your romantic partner, your children, your colleagues, your relationship to work, your relationship with money, and every other relationship that you have. So if you have a very healthy or functional relationship with self, then that will translate into relationship with other areas and other people. If you are to do an evaluation and assessment of your own life, you may realize that the reason as to why you are in relationships are not working, the relationships that you are really struggling in, relationships that are not giving you the outcomes that you desired and that you want, is because the relationship that you have with self is already dysfunctional and it's warped. And it's out of that space where your relationship with self is dysfunctional that you are attracting other dysfunctional people into your space. Because we attract who we are. If you are dysfunctional, you can't thrive in a healthy relationship because healthy people will find you complicated. They'll find you different. So you may find yourself in a relationship with someone who is healthy and it is not working. Why? Because your dysfunctions are standing in the way. So if you want to improve the outcomes of your relationships with yourself first, then you need to address the blocks. You need to address the dysfunctional belief patterns. You need to address the warped view of self so that as you're presenting yourself out there, then the healthy version of you is out there. The most authentic version of you is what people are interacting with. And as long as you're showing up authentically, then you're also going to have people who are showing up authentically as well. A good relationship with yourself also affects how you show up at work, how your career progression looks like. Unfortunately, I've seen people whose career progression and pursuit of purpose has been sabotaged by the imposter syndrome, where you feel like you're defective, you're not worth. You're waiting for the day when people will discover who you are. You're waiting for the day that people will go like, Kumbe, this is not the person that we thought that he or she is. That is the imposter syndrome. But as long as you're grounded within yourself, as long as your core beliefs are grounded, as long as your core beliefs are functional and they are not warped, and you view yourself as a healthy being, a being that is worth of all the good things that life has to offer, then you are able to progress career-wise very well. You're able to take up challenging roles. You're able to show up. You're able to think on your feet. You're able to lead teams. You are able to solve problems because you are supported by your core to become that version of yourself. So that is why this is very important for me, because I want to see you thrive. I want to see you live your best life. I want to see you enjoy the best relationships. I want to see you become the best parent. I want to see you have a healthy relationship with money. I want to see you become an all-rounded person. And as such, I have a program that I've created, and this one is specifically for women. It's for ladies because my heart also is huge on seeing women become the best versions of themselves. So I have a 12 weeks program that I've created for women, and this program helps us address their dysfunctions from the roots. So we are going to go into the childhood. Some of those questions that I asked us in, I think it was episode 3, where we were talking about adverse childhood experiences. Some of the questions that we asked there, we are going to ask them in that program, because I want you to be able to address your problem from the root. We are going to give you root therapy, because once you address the problem from the root, then you can be sure that the branches and the fruits are going to be healthy. So this is a 12 weeks program in which I take you through your adverse childhood experiences. We see how your upbringing has imperfected you. We look at what we call mother wounds and father wounds, and we heal those from the root. We look at the people that you need to forgive, the experiences that have traumatized you as you grew up, and maybe even up to the space where you are at. So what kind of experiences have bruised you? What kind of experiences have traumatized you? So how can we process the difficult emotions that lie in there? Because like I said in an earlier video, many of us are very afraid of those difficult emotions. We don't know what to do with them, so we push them to the corner, or we dissociate with the parts of ourselves that are experiencing those difficult emotions, and we don't want to associate with them. And like I said, as long as you're not fully integrated, as long as there are parts of you that you're rejecting, as long as there are parts of you that you are orphaning, that you're putting out there and you're here, then living an authentic life becomes very, very difficult for you. So I want, through this program, I want to ensure that as many women are getting integrated into themselves as possible, because it's through that integration then that the best version of you comes through. So this is normally a 12 weeks program, and it's an online program. We meet on Zoom once a week, and we address those issues. We also address the difficult emotions as anger, because many of us think as anger as a bad emotion. So I want us to be able to look at anger for what it is. Anger is our friend. Anger is communicating. Anger is telling us something. Anger is telling us there's something that we need to evaluate and look into. So I want, through that program, I want us to be able to normalize the things that maybe we haven't normalized. We normalize and we look at emotions that we have been orphaning, we've been putting out there, we've been dissociating with them, the ones that have been communicating very strongly to us, but we have been ignoring. So by the time you get out on the other side of this program, my desire and my prayer and my goal is that you have shifted, you have some internal mental and emotional shifts that have happened. Some belief patterns have shifted, some thought patterns have shifted, and they are shifting for the better. They are shifting to evolve and become belief patterns and thought patterns that are supportive of the version of you that you want to become. So if you are interested in this program and you'd want to partake, I ask you to contact me. Let's have the conversation, because our next cohort starts in May. So this is the time that we are doing the registration. So if this is a program that you'd want to partake in, if this is a journey that you'd want to take yourself through, if you're tired of the space that you've been, if you are tired of feeling like your life is just rotating, you are not able to pursue your ambitions, you have goals that you have set, you're not able to pursue them, you have no drive, you have no desire, there's this version of you that you want to become, but you are not able to gather the resources that push you towards that direction. I want you to come into this program. So if this is something that you'd want to do, you want to become a better parent, a better partner, or a better at whatever area of your life that you feel needs betterment, then this is the program for you. So let's talk, let's have a conversation, contact me, let's evaluate and see whether this is a good fit for you. So if you find this information useful, please share it with your friends and relatives, your sisters, anybody who you think has been through traumatic experiences and they don't know how to process them, or that traumatic experience is standing in the way of them becoming the best version of themselves. Let's have this conversation, let's talk. And as always, if you think this is useful, share. Let's share with the people that we care about. Let's share with the people that are close to us. If you haven't watched the earlier episodes, please go to the link section or to the comment section. All the links to those previous videos are there. My deepest desire is to see the healed version of you, is to see you standing on the mountaintop, is to see you becoming the best version of yourself. I can imagine if you've watched our episodes from the first episode up to here, maybe there are questions about trauma that you have, questions that you feel you needed to be answered, but they have not been answered. I'm encouraging you to put those questions in the comments section. I will look at those questions, I will address them in a live episode that we are going to be doing soon. So if you have questions, don't be left hanging with them. Just put them in the comment section. I'll pick them up and I'll create a live episode where we are going to be addressing these questions, and that will be our trauma episode 6. So I look forward to seeing you. So once again, this is Ruth Waithira of the Soul Clinic. It's always a pleasure to be here. It's always a pleasure to do this. Let's keep healing. Let's keep seeking to become the best versions of ourselves. See you in another video.